So, back for another best of 3 in the VGC Series 1 rule set. I'm going to be going up against Diamond greater than 5 in this one. And I quite like the fact that with these best of 3s, I can revisit some old teams. So this is I think it was the second team I used on the Believing Boy. So I'm able to just revisit that. And that is a Toxtricity and a Sableye. Cool. So, Sableye's going to be annoying. Hydreigon looks very good. It's immune to the Sableye stuff. Medicham and Hydreigon as a lead seems reasonable. I want Magnezone. And I'm pretty sure I want a Azumarill as well. What do I have for the Serena if I bring that? I would have to bring Armarouge if I want to cover Serena a bit more, but I still have Hydreigon and Medicham, so I think that that's okay. Serena's probably going to be the most annoying Pokemon. Oh, what's happened here? There we go. That took a while. I thought there was going to be some kind of bug there, but apparently not. I mean, there still could be. But they copied my trainer card, so that's rude. Well, there is the Serena. I'm glad to see that that's on the field immediately. So what I can do here is I can just immediately close combat the Dreadnought. If they Terastallize into a Grass type, which is the most common, that's still a huge chunk, and I can just go for a Tailwind. I don't see many downsides to that. Hard switching to Pelipper means Dreadnought moves first, and that's still not the worst thing. Like, that's okay. This is fine. Getting a Tailwind is a good thing. Is that a Scarf Serena? It might be a Scarf Serena. My Hydreigon's not max speed. Serena's max speed is 138, isn't it? And I'm 137 on this Hydreigon. So, okay. It may not be Scarf, it may just be max speed. So unfortunately I didn't attack the Serena there, but that's fine. But the Tailwind is very good here. I still get a close combat into the Dreadnought slot. And it is just a Dark Pulse into the Pelipper. I see nothing wrong with this. The Dreadnought could Terastallize, but that would be a little bit of a waste. If this is switching into Serena, taking care of that quite quickly is good. Good. I'm glad that that is getting weakened. Ideally, I flinched the Pelipper, but you can't have everything. Brings it to its sash. So doubling the Pelipper was obviously better. But this is a huge chunk onto the Serena now. Like Medicham is strong. Medicham is very strong. That was a nice chunk indeed. Yeah, there's the match of the Tailwind. So Serena, I'm going to assume it's Scarf, even though I think it can still not be. But I don't think it can do much to me at this point. Pretty sure I can just switch into Magnezone. And I can Heat Wave, the Pelipper could have Wide Guard. But I think I will still go for Heat Wave. Because if they do go for Wide Guard, then that's still not an attack. And there's surely not much they can do to the Magnezone. Oh, they have Play Rough. But I dodged, that's very fortunate. Like that's obviously very lucky. But I did not think of that as an option. Looking back, that was actually quite likely if I am assuming it is Scarfed. So the answer to that would have been to Terastallize the Hydreigon. I wanted to save it for the Magnezone. But yeah, if that would have connected, that was bad. That was assumedly a Hurricane into the Magnezone. But then, well, they're locked into Play Rough at that point, so then I can bring in a Azumarill freely. And then that would be okay. The Dreadnought now outspeeds me, and there's the King Gambit. Okay. So, I don't need to Terastallize Magnezone, because they will just... Well, I could turn into a Grass type. What I have in the back was a Azumarill and Medicham, right? But Serena's gone, so that's fine. going to double the King Gambit, because the Dreadnought very easily could protect out the last turn of my Tailwind. But it did not. Did not care. So I could have gone for Thunderbolts and just KO'd the Dreadnought there. Because I was... Okay, good start. I was expecting the Protect From... That's good damage, that's Assault Vest, though. That's very good damage from them, okay. That's why. Because if I just go for Thunderbolt there into the Dreadnought, they lose. But that was a good call from them. One turn of Rain left. But one turn of Tailwind left from them as well, right? Because then my Medicham assumably just outspeeds. And am I in Sucker Punch range? I don't think I would be. I'm going to attempt to Thunderbolt still. And I don't feel the need for a Tailwind. If I'm able to get off a Draco Meteor into the Dreadnought, I'm okay with that. Ice Spinner makes sense. Again, I could have switched into a Zoom that turn, but I did not feel the need to. So, Rain over. How fast is Dreadnought? It's 74, isn't it? So unless they're Jolly, which you don't need to be when you have Rain. Like, I should be in Sucker Punch range with the Medicham, but surely they don't Sucker Punch on the turn that I'm going for Fake Outs. Right? That would be a big read. Because if I Fake Out the Dreadnought and they Sucker Punch with the King Gambit, then that's terrible for them. I don't think the Dreadnought can beat my Azumarill. So I think what I can do is play quite safe and just double into the King Gambit with Fake Out and... Yeah, if I go for Fake Out and Liquidation into the King Gambit, I think that should be okay. Outside of Rock Slide flinches, that would be. Oh, you know what's better, actually? Terrastallize into a fighting type, so I'm not weak to Sucker Punch anymore. That's much better. That's the way to do it, definitely. Because even if they do be super brave and Sucker Punch the Medicham, then I'm okay. Wasn't expecting to Terrastallize Medicham in this game, but that's the one that makes sense now. So I'm strongly assuming it's Assault Vest on the King Gambit based on the damage I did with the Thunderbolt. Because that was Specs Thunderbolt. So it's surely Assault Vested and can't protect, so this makes this pretty guaranteed, assumedly, unless they are Jolly on the Dreadnought as well. And if they are, oh no. But yeah, they followed the logic of they can't Sucker Punch on the Fake Out turn. So this is game over now. And I get to find out that they are not Jolly on the Dreadnought, which is good. But I did get lucky with that Play Rough dodge. If that didn't dodge, like, it was still a game. Like, that was very bad for them. But that was still fortunate. Like, I would have been able to bring in a Azumarill, and they're locked in... I'm assuming they're Scarf, and then they're locked into Play Rough, and then Magnezone and Azumarill are still going to do pretty decent things. So, I say, like, this is not over. Rock Slide is Rock Slide. So actually, no, 2 Aqua Jets is better. So then I can't be flinched. 2 Aqua Jets is better. This avoids the flinch charge. Flinch charge? Oh, now they're a grass type, so Ice Spinner was better. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, they still have the Terrastalization. Oh, just water. Oh, now I have to play rough. That's the odds out my favour even further. That's rude. Not enough. Has to be play rough. Is that 2-shot? Okay. So. Does a Liquidation into an Aqua Jet get it? I don't think so. I think it just needs to be play rough. But Rock Slide is Rock Slide. Oh, that's fortunate as well. Like, the odds are in my favour. So, you know, I get that. But that one, like, the Rock Slide miss is factored into the fact that I may not flinch either. And so the odds are still in my favour that way. But I did get lucky earlier with the play rough. So that is still something. So, assumedly Scarf Serena. Not Grass on the Dreadnought is good to know. Sash on the Platypus standard. King Gambit's Assault Vest. I think it's still fine to lead with Medicham and Hydreigon. And then if they lead with Pelipper, I'm going to go for Trick Room with the Medicham. So made some good plays in that game. Like that, Serena being Scarf was very good for them. Them attacking in the face of me potentially just Thunderbolting the Dreadnought was very good as well. I do need to be careful I go for Trick Room because then the King Gambit can just underspeed everything. Which could be a bit awkward. I think the 4 I brought are the best ones. So I think I'm just going to stick and see what their adaptation is. Because I think I'm fine with these. They go Sableye, they can't affect the Hydreigon. They lead with Pelipper, then they're assumedly they would think I would be matching Tailwinds. No, same thing again, okay. So, could this be just U-turn into Pelipper again with the Dreadnought? Because then how they can attack. They U-turn. Because they could just immediately play rough as well. I'm going to be greedy. I don't think they're going to let me, but if they do, I'm looking in a good position. If this gets off. Yeah, they attack this time. So there's just a double into the Medicham, then I got far too greedy. Ideally, this is Rock Slide or attack into the Hydreigon, but if this is double into the Medicham. Like, this was guaranteed for them, actually. So yeah, like, thinking back, like, this was a guaranteed play for them. I have nothing to do, like, they KO that Medicham slot if they just go for that, so... Okay. So... Could Terrastallize Magnezone into Water type, but then I'm very weak to the Serena. I'm not sure Tailwind is necessary anymore, because they're going to outpace me regardless. Interesting the Waterfall instead of Liquidation as well. I guess the flinch chance is more valuable than the 5 extra power. Because I know they're not grass, I could just attack them. And I do want to Terrastallize so that I'm not weak to their stuff. Yeah, I will Terrastallize. But I'm already behind in this game, so my lead doesn't work out against them. Well, it worked out the previous game because they protected the Dreadnought. This is an interesting Terrastalization from them. Because this is obviously an offensive one, but I'm KOing the Dreadnought now. Because they surely can't deal with my Magnezone unless they Hurricaned it covering for the Terrastalization on my part. But... yeah, that's an interesting one. And if they don't Tailwind, if they attack with the Pelipper... yeah, there's Waterfall. That's a chunk. And there's still the flinch chance on the Pelipper as well. Yeah, they do just Tailwind, so that's fine. Because that's a KO Dreadnought now. Okay, so I was talking about the flinch chance. There you go. There is that flinch chance. So now I am not in a good position at all. That is why you run Waterfall over Liquidation. Okay. Because now they can just Rock Slide and Hurricane the Magnezone, and there's not much I can do in that regard. Again, Tailwind is pointless, because the Serena just outpaces me anyway. So yeah, that's not a good flinch. they should be able to KO my Magnezone with the double up now, because they can go for Hurricane instead, and Rock Slide is neutral, so yeah. That was not ideal. And I was wondering, like, I felt like I may have been able to hang on there, but alas, no. So I don't think there's any hope in this game anymore. But then that's luck on their side has equaled out the first game to an extent. And of course, throwing for the content to get the best of 3 to 3 games. But yeah, that flinch was very killer. Because if that goes off, I'm still perfectly reasonable. Because the Serena would have to choose Grass move or Fairy move. And whichever one it chooses, it can't hit the other one very well. So I would have been okay when it came to that. But now I have to play for a dodge, into another dodge, into another dodge. Yeah, like there's not much hope here. If I can, I would like to see how much I do to the Serena, but yeah, Ice Spinner is 100% accurate as opposed to Play Rough, and at least I'm going to find out what the grass move is. I'm assuming it's Power Whip. Oh, it's just Drop Kick, okay. That just O-code, what? Oh, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, there you go. I was going to say, that shouldn't KO an Azumarill, that's only Drop Kick. Okay, so... yeah, Medicham can't do it if it just wants to go for Trick Room. And if I lead with Medicham and they lead with the same thing, they have a guaranteed KO into that slot if I just let them. So... if I were to do the same thing, a switch to Azumarill and Tailwind is significantly better. My Arbor Liver is actually worth considering now. If I take care of the Pelipper, the Arbor Liver is actually okay. Might be worth just going with the Magnezone as a lead. And that's baiting. Armor as a lead? I can just tear into Grass and Trick Room. That seems okay. Going with Armor seems weird, but I think that's okay. This is a weird lead. Yeah, this is weird. But that's what I'm going with. It would depend if they, because they could U-turn and Ice Spinner the Armarouge. Would that KO? Don't know if that would KO, but then that would open me up to just Giga Drain KO the Dreadnought. Pelipper and Serena, okay. So, are they brave enough to Hurricane into the Armarouge? Because I'm going to attack. And I'm not going to. Because, like, surely I'm only leading with this because I'm going to Terastallize into the Grass type, right? Right? And even if I get this wrong and they do Hydro Pump, they're going to miss. It's fine. Yep, just U-turn. And then is it going to be Hydro Pump? Like, this is always the awkward thing with Terastallization now. Yeah, switching into Kingambit makes sense. They did Hurricane! Okay, I can still play Pokemon. There we go. No, of course! Always punished. I'd strongly preferred that did not happen. If I get the Trick Room, Arbor Liver's looking very good. Come on, Armourouge. Come on, I made the right play. Always punished. Okay. Right. Not ideal. So... what to do now? Because they can just Hurricane. That shouldn't KO Arbor Liver. The double up would. But now they can Sucker Punch my Armourouge as well. Yeah, this isn't ideal. I will attempt to Giga Drain, but yeah, no, this is not looking good now. They do just Hurricane, but I should survive. Yeah, pretty comfortably. Armourouge. Okay, that's something. Nice crit. Necessary. But this should just be a double up into the Arbor Liver, right? Oh, it's not. Okay. That's alright. That could have been worse. That was okay, Chip. It's just would they Brick Break into Arbor Liver? Because I could turn into a fairy. But then they should Iron Head, because that'd be enough? That probably wouldn't be enough. So I can go into Hydreigon. If they go into Dreadnought, then I can just stay as a regular Hydreigon. And if they go into Serena, then I probably do need to Terrestrialize. Although Magnezone's still pretty good as well. But I will save the Magnezone. There's Dreadnought, okay. If I can get that Giga Drain. Which I should be able to do if I go for Tailwind and Terrestrialize into this on the Ice Spinner, right? This is a big risk. This one's a really big risk, but this is game winning if it is just Ice Spinner into the Arbor Liver. If it's not, then things are looking bad. Because I should survive the Ice Spinner from the on the Hydreigon. It's just if this is Waterfall into Arbor Liver, that is not good. It is Rock Slide, so we're playing this game. So I'm surviving that. Didn't need to Terrestrialize. Get the Tailwind, Arbor Liver. This is absolutely huge right now. Thank you kindly. Good. That is very good. And then if this is Brick Break, this is perfect. Because that's a lot of health. But that Terrestrialization was unnecessary because they didn't Ice Spinner. And is it Iron Head or Brick Break? It is Kowtow Cleave. That is acceptable as well. Good. So. Magnezone in the back. So that should be okay. Because there's the Serena. They got to lock into something now. I don't trust Draco Meteor, but it's the correct play, I think. No, I don't trust Draco Meteor, and I probably should, but I don't. Okay, is this going to be the Serena? It is. Is it Fairy? Okay, so I'm glad I at least Dark Pulsed. Like, that's better. But, yeah, this is definitely not over, because the King Gambit is still okay against the Magnezone. But we're just going to flinch this Serena and make up for everything. That was still good damage. That might be Hyper Voice range. Hey, we did flinch it. There we go. That worked out. And that was a lot of damage. So, yeah, this game is looking good now. Yeah, there's the Iron Head. But I am okay now. Because I've got the guaranteed Dark Pulse into the Serena now. That was a good flinch. Thank you kindly. That was game-saving. Potentially. Like, because... I wonder if the King Gambit would be able to 1v1 the Magnezone. Based on the previous damage, I think, factoring in the grassy terrain, they would survive 2. But they only get 1... Like, assumedly, it will come down to if the King Gambit was 2-shot by the Choice Specs Thunderbolt. So now it's just definitely Dark Pulse into the Serena, and that was a KO. And then it's Thunderbolt into the King Gambit, because I still had the turn of Tailwinds, so that's got it. But if I didn't flinch, then yeah, because the Play Rough would do okay damage because it's very terrored. So would Magnezone have been able to survive a Brick Break, and well, it would survive the Brick Break and Play Rough. It would come down to do I KO the... No, it would have been Brick Break, Sucker Punch, and Play Rough. Would Magnezone have been able to survive that combination? Because that was a 2-shot. So that's what it would come down to. And we will never know. I mean, we could do the calc, but we will never know. But that's what that would have come down to had I not flinched the Serena. So there was some luck both ways. That's what Pokemon does sometimes. You know? Can't believe that strategy was successful. I'm glad, like, that's got... I think that might be my first I am not going to Terra, because obviously I'm going to Terra, not Terroring, if that makes sense. But that was a pretty cool game. So I'm going to put Diamond's information in the description, so you can go and check them out, because that was a cool game. I enjoyed that one a lot.